every physical form has its own reverberation. Now our bodies and our existence is very deeply linked with the solar system, the way it functions.
How much of astrology is true? How much of people can predict your future?
If it's already written what you could do and could not do, your life is a horror. Isn't
There's
it?
no excitement in life then.
It's not about excitement, there's no potential.
Right.
It's already written. You're not a potential life. You're a past life. We could have just framed the horoscope and bury you.
Right.
Instead of framing your picture after you die, we can frame the horoscope and bury you today. What is the problem? It's anyway the same thing. Because once you're past, it is just that which people remember about you, either it's written or in their minds, like a story. See, every object, especially if it's a large object like a planet or a star, it is exuding its own reverberation. Right now, this vessel is exuding its own reverberation, believe me. It is. Scientifically, we can prove this, that it is exuding a certain level of reverberation. Right now, it contains water, so it is exuding one kind of reverb. Suppose we put milk in it, it will be exuding another kind of reverb. Suppose I pour some mercury in it will exude something totally different. So every object, every physical form has its own reverberation. Now, if I don't have an established way of being, now this vessel could slowly influence me. To such an extent, many people, they touch a vessel and after that they can't keep it down. Don't literally take a vessel. Many objects, they touch it and after that they can't keep it down, isn't it? Because without the reverberation of that, they cannot exist in many ways. So when this is the case, a planet could have its own reverberation. Now, it is up to me whether this vessel will determine my destiny or I will decide the destiny of this vessel is up to me. Because, I'll ask you a simple question, between inanimate objects and human consciousness, which do you think is of a superior dimension of function? Of course, human being, isn't it? In a way, this is also a piece of the planet, it's just earth, isn't it? It's just the soil. Either we get it now or one day we'll get it from the maggots, but it is the soil. But here it reverberates in a certain way because it's conscious, it's intelligent, it's many things. This is conscious. This should determine the nature and the destiny of the inanimate object. When I say inanimate object, what you call as a planet, all the 9, 11 planets are also inanimate. Yes, they're big, but they're inanimate. The stars that you're talking about also are inanimate, and many of the stars that you believe are there are not there, actually. Yes, many of them are actually not there. They died long time ago, because it takes light years for the light to reach you. You think it is there, but they're gone many million years ago. So, inanimate objects should decide the destiny of human consciousness, or human consciousness should determine the destiny of inanimate objects, which way it should be. This should decide, isn't it? But right now, a whole lot of people are allowing inanimate objects to decide their destiny. They definitely have an influence. Will you allow it or not is the question. Do you know that on full moon nights and no moon nights, we are in the coastal city, the waves are coming up, tides. Do you also know, people if they're psychologically disturbed, on those days they become much more disturbed? Yes? Full moon, which has such a big influence on the ocean, such a big influence on that person who's mentally fragile, has no influence on you. So, the thing is whether you are going to allow it to influence you or will you influence it, is the question. Full moon is only rising certain things within you. If the whole ocean is rising, obviously all the fluids in our body, including our blood and everything else, all the gland secretions, everything is rising. It doesn't create madness. If you're a little crazy, it'll make you more crazy. If you're joyful, it'll make you more joyful. If you're loving, it'll make you more loving. Whatever you are, it enhances you a little bit because it's pushing it up. Over 70% of this body is fluid, isn't it? So if the ocean is rising, is nothing rising? Definitely something is rising. So full moon day means, in this country, full moon days and new moon days were the real holidays. Because it has something to do with our life. On that day you go to the temple, on that day you meditate, on that day you spend with the family, all kinds of things. This was important. We took away that science because our bodies and our existence is very deeply linked with the solar system, the way it functions. But will we ride the cycle or will we be crushed by the cycle? This is a choice that we have. If you learn to ride it, it'll be fantastic. If you don't learn, of course they'll crush you.